So, hello guys, INFP with Tom here. Let me start with the local time is 12 minutes past 7, and local weather is it's good weather today. It's 18 degrees Celsius, and that will be about 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was raining yesterday, and but anyway, what's been going on this week? I didn't do my weekly live stream 2 days ago on Friday, and I will excuse myself, but I had kind of a legit reason for it. So I had an invitation for a meetup with two really good friends of mine that were in town from Lisbon, so they visit here now today during the past week, and we decided to meet up and make some dinner and chit chat and have some drinks. So that was really nice. Ended up being really late actually. I didn't plan to be that late, but hey, what could you do? Sometimes you have fun, you know, you have to catch up and whatnot. So for this stream, I don't have any topic. I was thinking about going into a topic about, what was it again? About something with creativity, INFP and creativity. But did I end up doing that? Wait, Sunday stream catch up. Yeah, exactly. So this would more or less be just a catch up and speak about different topics that comes to mind, basically, and very improvised. And if you have any sort of questions or whatnot, that even helps as well. But I also wanted to go through just some general news topics about what's going on with, for example, the whole thing without mentioning the name. I don't want to, you know, we talk about it all the time with the people that you meet about the whole situation, the plague. But how does it look here in this country, in Portugal in general? I know that past week, actually last Friday, I went out for lunch and I sat out at a cafe. And they had opened up. You could sit there and order. Really nice to finally be able to do that. So I mean, it's noticeable opening up, and it's even more. Somebody told me that on May 5th, I believe it was, then it's another opening era. Or what should you say? So then they're gonna open up even more, maybe. Because it's strange. I researched like some clothes stores that are closed, temporarily closed on maps. And then you check like some other store, electronics shops. Yeah, of course, maybe they are more needed to be open. And there are some restaurants that can be open, some others cannot. So I don't follow the rule. I don't really know how they measure these things. But still, again, I'm not sure that the whole absolute lockdown is the right measurement. It's really difficult to say. I'm trying to keep an open mind to understand all perspectives, but something has to be done, and I don't really know what. I think my friend, she took Pfizer, the vaccine, because she is working registered in the I'm not sure if it was nurse necessarily, but doctor in the health sector. Let's say that she worked in the health sector that I met up with also. Um, so I mean, personally, I have no idea what I would be taking. I mean, whenever it's my turn, I guess I just gonna have to take it, just like everybody else. So what else this weekend on? Yesterday was not much at all. I went out a little bit, just walked around, kind of lonely, depressed day. And today I was working. Hello, raw milk. Yeah, I won't be taking it. Yeah, I mean, I still do to some degree. I have those considerations myself that if I can choose, I don't want to take it because I think I mentioned it before. I'm pretty certain that I am not feeling any threat whatsoever. And of course, I don't know how my system is going to react to getting the disease, the virus myself. But from what I know, I research, and it's like 99% safe that it's more than 99% safe that you are not gonna be hurt by getting the virus itself. It's like such a incredibly small percentage that it's almost ridiculous how much people that are actually fatally impacted. The thing that I'm considering, the only reason why like I said, if I could choose, I don't want to have any vaccine. If I have to choose, if I could choose, but in the end, you know that they are coming up with all these kind of restrictions and the vaccine passports. So in the end, it means that if you are not having it, well, then you're excluded. And what are you gonna do then? You're gonna stand there with a bunch of people, like, I don't know, a group of people that is just, no, we're refusing. But then you can't take part of society. I mean, who are we to judge that? Who are we to? It should be a choice. I don't think it's fair to be excluded because you have the right to your own body. What you put in it and what not. So that is, I'm just so tired of this situation, Yeah, fake it. If it was a choice, I mean, who will know? I mean, this year, so far it looks no difference. Not much of a difference at all. So, I mean, but who am I to judge this? And I'm thinking also that the whole situation between the different vaccinations, the different vaccines, it's becoming a war. It's just too much of that here. It's just too much of it. Yeah, can you understand why I don't feel very motivated to make recordings here? Ridiculous. Yeah, I was gonna say that it becoming I'm not sure, but it seems like this is becoming a trade war about what vaccine should be used in Europe. Because there are some of them, and in the end of the day, they want to profit as well. Because it's huge amount of money to even be in the game. I'm sure there are illegal processes and what should we call it? What is it? Yeah, insurance investment corporations that invest a lot of money to even make sure that, for example, Pfizer or Moderna or AstraZeneca, all of these different ones, that they are even legitimate to be one of the actors to bring this out to the market, and they won't profit in the end, of course. So it becomes maybe a war between all of these, like which is gonna be mostly consumed, basically, at the end of the day. So what next? There are so many things to talk about, but as I feel with my energy today is just super low. I wanted to meet up with my friends again, but like I said, I was working. Then I went quick to the park, brought my laptop, did a little bit of writing. So we can talk about that. I wanted to bring up again a little bit about with creativity. How many things there is that I want to do, like put full focus on it. But you only have this amount of hours per day, you know. Working full time, trying to set up like the startup business, and it takes a lot of energy, and then you're gonna do your own things as well you have emotional investment into creating projects. That is something that feels very meaningful to you, and it's a part of your idealism, what you see for the future, like idealism in the sense what you behold, what withholds meaning for you. Maybe you have this grand picture about where you want to go with yourself, and you want to, or it can be it can be for a good cause also. It can be like volunteering for something, or an imagined picture about how you see a problem and you want to really work for this. But doing that at the same time while you are, yeah, of course, working for somebody else, that's what it comes down to. Then it's you really have to fight hard, and I'm gonna do that. It's like there's no way out of it. There's no other meaning. I mean, otherwise, it sounds so harsh, but otherwise, what's the meaning? There's no meaning otherwise. If I would just do these daytime things, and I believe that is it. Like, I can't function like that. And I think that's one reason a lot of INFP, when we are, I learned this, I can tell you my experience. I've learned that I'm extremely particular and careful with who I share. Like when people say, what do you want to do then? Or what are you working on? I don't feel, I don't have any obligation to share like my ideas, my idealistic values for somebody that I know is just gonna kind of judge it. Because the truth is that the most people, they are stuck in a three-dimensional environment, in a materialistic mindset, where they only judge you based on what is more practical, what's most practical in a material matter. And that's the opposite of idealism, basically realism. And these are philosophical views, basically, from the ancient Greek, Plato and Aristotle. I can't pronounce his name, but Plato anyway is the idealist. And yeah, you have your moral values and what they symbolizes themselves in, and that is can be, of course, based on your childhood, your past experiences, what woke you, what woken you, in the sense of having your like dream, or how you see a problem should be changed, or how you see yourself in the future. The challenge I find is getting the conditions necessary to be creative. Stoicism is important. Absolutely, there, raw milk. I couldn't agree more. I'm interested about Stoicism as well. I believe that you could say that is also a philosophical view. And challenge of finding getting the conditions. The conditions to necessarily be creative. You know, I think that is what you're saying. There is another way of saying it, like you lack motivation, and that is something that happens to all of us. But sometimes creativity is, you know, of course, there is the beautiful thing when you can just sit and or whatever you're doing, and it's just you're getting to a point where it's just flowing. And for me, for instance, with writing, it can be like you sit and wait some time, and you're trying to find out reasons that you can do something else because you feel that, oh, I lack the motivation. I came to the conclusion that that is just really destructive to believe that creativity is just gonna strike you from somewhere. With writing, for instance, or with writing or playing guitar, sometimes when you just decide to get into it, and it's hard in the beginning, maybe the first 5-10 minutes, maybe in half an hour, whatever it takes for you, in the end you're gonna realize that you're getting to a flow mind, which is basically creativity, and it's very meditative. You're getting into a flow where you don't. Oh, this happened so much when I did painting before some years ago now, where you realize that time is not something that you think about. You don't think about what you're gonna do for dinner, or you don't think about the homework. You're completely just one in this moment in time where you are focused with all of your energy that you have. You put your mind, body, and soul to it, and it's very freeing, nice. It's liberty, very liberative, you know. But no, that sit there and wait, like to find creativity is not the way I work. I just believe that try to jump into it from some angle. But the idealism, back to what I was saying from the ancient Greeks. Yeah, a lot of people, they can judge, being very selective with who you share your idealistic standpoint, view for future of yourself or of some project or social cultural issue in society that you want to work for changing. And this can express itself very differently. So I have stopped to share, like, of course I share with you guys because this is like the community where I can do that. Also with some really close people that I have in my life. But for most part, if it will be just like some random person or person at work or some very selective with sharing the idealistic nature of or my idealistic identity, I would rather say, because so many people, they will be thrown upon you from just because it can be difficult to explain your moral values and idealism, essentially what you wish for the future, for your future self, or for the future of humanity. So it can be difficult to break that down, and you can just say something that is very, very broad, and people would just say that, also, how are you actually going to do it? And it's going to be actually very hard to break down ourselves. But I know, yes, I was thinking about this when I was in the park. When I think about how many things that there is that I'd like to do, what I dream for myself as a way to give to people, as a way to give to humanity, whether it's music or writing, you know. It's because, yeah, there's so many different things, so it's difficult to explain. You see, you notice I'm so bad at explaining myself even. I have to think about this, how I need to express myself. But basically, there are no limits how you can express yourself. If those people that want to judge that, oh, you are gonna fail, or this is not, how are you gonna succeed with that? You need a degree for that or whatnot, you know. Maybe you do in some fields for sure, but basically that if you just keep going and believing in what you want to create, to give, and then of course in some ways you try to reach out to people that you believe, your demography or your audience basically, and you believe that, let people judge your expressions and the messages that you have to say. Let them judge however you express it, whether it be through a painting or it's some works or it's through some kind of expression, you know. There's no limit really to how you can express yourself, and it's up to them, to the community, to judge what it is or what your message is. Sometimes it can be a clear message, sometimes it can be a message everybody have to interpret, you know. And what is my message then? I think, yeah, my personal values probably, I guess. But just to break them down into words, it doesn't really say anything. I think it's better to put the put the values in context, put them in a story, put them into a song, put them into a painting, put them into what you work with. Not necessarily that I do that with my daytime job, but maybe a little bit here and there, some of it. But yeah, it's really, really difficult to just do that at once, you know. It has to be step by step, because yeah, we all have our jobs, you know. We all have our duties. The truth is in the action. Yeah, the truth is in the action at all times. Yeah, this is a very important motivating factor in my life. Truth always been like a central, maybe not always, but absolutely into my 20s, early 20s, it started to be very much about just truth and searching for what is truth. And I think that actually a lot of INFP, I know this as the fact, they are very motivated about truth. And it's so subjective, you know. Oh, there's such a good, um, but I also touched upon this on my chapter about idealism, that idealism actually is a way to understand truth, meaning of life. And I listened to an interesting podcast today where they were talking about that meaning of life also. Yeah, it was with Elon Musk, and he said just something that to understand universe is meaning of life, and it's difficult because we need to. He said something along the lines: we need to know more so we can ask the right questions about universe, and maybe then more and more we will understand the meaning of life. But then for me it's always been more like not necessarily understand, yeah, of course understand meaning of life, but imagine if you knew the meaning of life, yeah, then you could like die. Maybe then it's just okay, now I know this information, now I can die. I think it's more appealing the whole search, because that's what been motivated for me, like searching for the truth, searching for what it feels meaningful to me. The more I feel I'm getting closer to some kind of truth within myself. You know, trying different jobs, for example, can be one way. Traveling can be a way. Doing something that makes you feel like creative, motivated, inspired, those things have always like made me feel a lot of meaning and truth. Let me say this. It had made me felt a lot of meaning, and in the sense when I feel a lot of meaning and motivation, it feels like I'm going in a truthful way. I think I can say it like that, yeah. So I went to the park, like I said. I just wrote down a few things also on my laptop, like where am I now and where do I want to go. And after a while, after I've been writing that, I just like, this is like kind of repetitive now, Tom. I'm already very certain what I do want when it comes to like some basic things, but also creatively speaking. I'm very certain of what I want then. And that's many years of searching, but I knew the answers already before I actually knew them. If I will go back to my home country, something I can share. Yeah, let's be a little bit personal now, right? Why not? Why not? That's something I've been thinking about since I came to Porto. Um, in on Halloween, I arrived here last year, and the first month was just really hard. But I handled it well. I mean, I've had hard times in my life that just broke me down completely spiritually, existentially. Existentially crisis, kind of. Isn't that lovely? I mean, I'm telling you, it was not that bad, but I mean, with regards to being broken down spiritually, at the time, it was not something that I would have even wished for my worst enemy. I don't have any enemies, just for the record. But I know as a fact now different reasons to it, why I had to suffer, why I had to go through what I went through, and what it made me. But that's for another topic, because that is a kind of a big part of my life. But now, after I went here, super cold, but I knew there are things that I want to accomplish here in this place. Since the first time I visited this town, I felt like I could live here, and now I am doing that. It's kind of strange how things work out. And it's the same things with other things. So in regards to that, I feel nice, and I'm not going anywhere soon from here. But I was thinking earlier, like in December, maybe around May this year, maybe I should go back to my home country. But truth of the matter, I mentioned before, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anywhere to go, and I am completely by myself. I'm all alone, and as scary as it can be, it's also very freeing in a way, because it makes me focus and like be grateful what the things that I do have, but also very focused upon what I have to accomplish for, I don't know, this coming 10 years or whatnot. And then after that, I don't know what happened. I feel a little bit like, like I talked earlier, like I have some feelings that I don't really care whether I die or. But I don't want that. Don't get me wrong. I really don't want to die. That is a powerful position. It is, when I think of it, like having that strange kind of complete loneliness. Well, not complete. I mean, like I said, on Friday I went to meet up with two friends that came visiting from Lisbon. That was just great. I haven't had a hug like that for a long time. It was so nice, many months. Anyway, I said that go back to my home country right now is not good, because there are so many bad things going on there, and it's not safe. It's literally so dangerous in the big cities, at least. Even the smaller city I come from, with maybe a population roughly around, I don't think it's more than 55,000. But even there it's dangerous. It's not a city that I want to be out at in the evening anymore. And certainly the bigger capital city, and like Gothenburg, Malmö, other places, it's really dangerous. But I think, I mean, no, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm just thinking that probably I would be fine if I went back, but need to have somewhere to go. I'm just, yeah, focusing right now on what is, with the whole situation. Keep working, keep saving, investing, doing all these things is very important as for now. But eventually, of course, home is always home. But for example, if I had an opportunity to go to another country, it's not unlikely that I would do that. It's very likely, actually. Because, this country, I have so mixed feelings about this country. But I know as a fact, that's I can feel that this place, Porto, is not something that I feel is going to be necessarily long-term for me. And I'm not in this country for too long either anyway. I just passed 3 years. So 3 years since I graduated, and a month. 3 years and a month, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of a long time, and it has not went particularly fast. But no, it's not particularly fast, but also the past year, 2020, was just a complete bad year, and that year went pretty fast, actually. Yeah, I'm just checking the news here if there's anything else bad that have happened in my home country. But I'm trying to stay away from news, actually, because news, it's actually a very negative energy. I was going to say almost all the time. Come on, it is all the time. There's always something there with a really negative vibe. It's a really strange time. It's a really strange time. I'm not really, I feel like right now I am kind of unbalanced a little bit, in the sense that I'm a little bit, I feel like I have a lot of things that I want to bring up with you guys, but I just moving briefly over here and over there. And that's not really what I like to be. I like to be more focused and strict with but probably because there was not a really planned stream this, because normally I do my streams on Fridays evenings, and that will be probably your time in US, 2-3 Central Standard Time. So I just wanted to make this one because I don't want to miss them, And I was occupied on Friday, and yesterday I was not in shape for it, to be honest. I still feel a little bit out of shape, to be honest. But tomorrow is Monday, and it's great. I love Mondays, and you guys probably don't trust me. But the fact is that I really like Mondays. Yeah, Romil, the fact, in fact, I don't even have a television. I never owned a television. I did have a television for maybe 1.5 years. I don't remember, but not for too long when I was in university. And that was when my family, mom and my brother, my dad came visiting me. They brought like one old TV from my brother that I could borrow. Yeah, but there's just so much bad there. I mean, why should you even use a TV to watch the television programs? I don't really see a point anymore there. You can find, that is going out of date because now people is searching up themselves what they want to watch. It's that simple. There's too much options today with the streaming services, YouTube, or just surfing on the internet. You go to the places, the communities, shows, whatever that you want to control. Yeah, you want to control your perception of reality. It's very likely. I mean, imagine before internet. Can you imagine such a, like you had, for example, a couple of channels, a couple of news articles that controlled like unimaginable amount of data or information that's coming out to your little brain, that you just like have no way at all to make sources, to check the sources. So obviously today is just going on differently. I think also the thing about the large amount of data that the social media platforms and Google collects, it's such a valuable, it's going to be, I mean, it already is probably, and it will know probably what you will like and what you think before you even know it yourself. That's such a important amount of valuable information about us as human species in a group. Maybe they don't know, but yeah, maybe based on the data from a lot of people, they can pre-assume your intention or your beliefs in politics or entertainment or consumption. So we are fortunate so far, but if I'm gonna be honest, I think that we might head in a direction that internet will be limited in the future. I don't think there's gonna be this open as it is now. Maybe we believe it's very open now, but maybe it's not. No, it's very open in my opinion, at least, as far as I'm concerned. But I think it's leading to a direction where these huge platforms, they have too much of a influence and power that they do what they want. It becomes monopoly, basically. And that's one perspective. But also this perspective that the information they know about you is that they can target you so well for whether it's choices in like political, religious views, or target whether it's for consumption. It goes far, it goes really far. And yeah, there are no limits within this topic. But what can we do? I mean, that's I can only do what I want to better myself. I can only try to think about what I like, what I eat, and try to keep a healthy mind to the things that value to me. And when it comes to that technology, and it's just moving too fast. It's moving extremely fast, and the people behind the wheel of these tech groups. Yeah, what can I do about it, you know? I don't care. I really don't care about it. It comes back to self, absolutely. That's what it is about. And try to have as less of a impact by some external big brother arm coming and telling you what you can do with self, you know. And I mean, fascism, that is when the corporations become entwined with the political power. So imagine what's if that's going on, you know, with the huge social media platforms and governments is becoming one. That's creepy stuff. But yeah, what can I do about it? I don't care. I mean, I have put a lot of thought into politics or this situation that's going on right now with the world, but it doesn't lead anywhere. You know, you can research a little bit every now and then, but in the end of the day, it doesn't give me anything. So I'm very, very focused about back to the meaning of my moral values and my beliefs and my idealistic views, so to say. All right, we made it 40 minutes now. I think I'm gonna um, say goodbye here to you guys because I need to eat something and I'm just gonna relax now for this Sunday. Maybe there are some things I need to finish off here because I'm not really completely finished with my day when it comes to work and some creative stuff. But I will be back and I will be more prepared at that time, for sure. Like I said, this was a catch up. I didn't want to leave you hanging out there. So as always, like, yeah, just very thankful, grateful for you guys, whoever tune in, Raw Milk and who else watching this. It's great to connect like this. And yeah, I will have more of a INFP related topic for the next Friday then, if nothing else coming up. Interesting that you bring Manly P. Hall up. Yeah, I know very well, Romil. I found out about Manly P. Hall back in, it must have been 2000, yeah, 2016 or 17. And I was very close to buy a book from him, ordered from Amazon or something like that. It's a thick one. It's one of the most famous one. It's, of course, you have the pineal gland. I'm interested about that, but that's a very short book, I heard. The one I'm thinking of is the Secret Teachings of All Ages. It's from 1928 and it's like 700 pages, I think. Let me check. (640 pages. Yeah, but that one, check it out if you know. And probably you know it because you brought him up. But I want to have that one. Probably get it in the future. So yeah, he's very interested person, and I'm not sure that I really listened to some lectures of him. I might have heard a little bit, but that's I know he, if I'm not mistaken, him with somebody else, that there is a school that he was part of founding or something like that, somewhere in California, and that school seems a bit odd. It's I don't know. I just felt it was. I could be completely wrong now. Okay, but it feels like it would be a satanic school. I don't know. Man, the school is called the Philosophical Research Society. I know it's somewhere in California, close to San Francisco. It might be. I think it's this one, the Philosophical Research Society. Faith and philosophies connect with the timeless roots of their beliefs and apply them to the challenges they face in an ever-changing world. Through depression, wars, both hot and cold, and in the personal crisis in each of our lives, we have sought to preserve and grow our connection to the light, which is the birthright of all. Yeah, this is the one. I remember I researched this before. I even checked like admissions and stuff. Not that I was going, but I just found it very, very interesting. I don't know why I was saying it was satanic school. It's not satanic. It's like a school of wisdom. But of course, some people would maybe call some of the teachings satanic. And there are some parts of Satanism that is just interesting, I think. Not that I am a spokesman for it at all, but I researched a lot of these different things. Occultism, basically. And yeah, it's Los Angeles, okay. They have an Instagram page also. Yeah, I was reading a lot of these different occultism stuff before, but not too much anymore. Every now and then a little bit. But yeah, that book I want to have, The Secret Teaching of All Ages. So with that said, you guys have a lovely, nice Sunday evening or afternoon or whatever. And I will see you soon. All right? Thanks, guys. See you.